and welcome to Bangla City SATV News. This is Nahin Tahir with our headlines. Bangladesh and Maldives signed 3 instruments today. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina hands over 13 military vehicles. Government will decide full reopening of schools until March next year after observing the COVID-19 pandemic situation, said Education Minister. Last-minute preparation of 4th phase of UP election are underway. Candidates are accused of violating code of conduct. Hundreds are injured in 4 districts. 3 instruments were signed between Bangladesh and Maldives on health, education, dual taxation, youth and sports, elevating the bilateral relation to new heights. The signing ceremony was held at the President's office in Malé this morning in presence of Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Maldivian President Ibrahim Mohamed Solih. Besides, the Premier handed over 13 military vehicles to the Maldives government following a bilateral dialogue at the President's office. Hasina said she is happy to share that they just held a very fruitful discussion on the entire spectrum of our bilateral relations. They reviewed the progress made so far on our earlier decision and found the outcome satisfactory. They also discussed cooperation in multilateral fora, including counterterrorism. Education Minister Dupimoni today said the government will decide whether to fully resume in-person classes after observing the COVID-19 pandemic situation until March next year. The minister said educational institutes will resume normal activities if the pandemic situation does not worsen in March 2022. It is not yet time to discuss what kind of impact the Omicron coronavirus variant may have on the education system. However, there will be no textbook festival in school on the first day of the new year due to health risks posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Rapid Action Battalion has arrested suspended Jamalpur's Dewanganj Municipality Mayor Shahnawa Shahanshah from a Hotel de Marian at Uttara today. Shahnawa Shahanshah was suspended from mayoral post December 21st following slapping an Upajala secondary education officer during a Victory Day event for announcing his name at number 5. The preparation of 4th phase of the Union Parishad election is underway. It will be held on December 26. A total of 840 Upajalas will go to the polls in this phase. But many candidates meanwhile have been accused of violating the code of conduct in the campaign. Despite the administration assurance, others are accusing the ruling party's candidate domination. Meanwhile, hundreds are injured in 4 districts, including Bhola, Hobiganj and Tangail. And 6 supporters were shot in Munshiganj, albeit the administration has taken various preparations to make the election fair. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with Bangla City SATV News. Welcome back, and you're watching Bangla City SATV News. Let's have a quick look at what's going on around the world. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has authorized Pfizer's antiviral COVID-19 pill, making it the first oral treatment that can be taken at home to fight the virus. Data from the drug maker's clinical trial shows it's a 2-drug antiviral regimen was 90% effective. Lab data also suggests the treatment is effective against the Omicron variant. U.S. drug regulators authorized the oral drug for the treatment of adults and pediatric COVID-19 patients at least 12 years of age. Pfizer says it's ready to begin immediate delivery of the drug, which will be sold under the brand name Paxlovid. Nearly $100 billion has been stolen from COVID-19 relief programs set up to help businesses and people who lost their jobs due to the pandemic, said U.S. Secret Service today on Tuesday. Reports said the estimate is based on Secret Service cases and data from the Labor Department and the Small Business Administration. They didn't include COVID-19 fraud cases prosecuted by the Justice Department. The Secret Service said it has seized more than $1.2 billion while investigating unemployment insurance and loan fraud, and has returned more than $2.3 billion of fraudulently obtained funds by working with financial partners and state to reverse transactions. And they have more than 900 active criminal investigations into pandemic fraud, with cases in every state, and 100 people have been arrested so far. Taliban soldiers in Afghanistan disrupted the erecting of security fence by Pakistani military along the border between the two countries. Pakistan has fenced most of the 2,600-kilometer border despite protestations from Kabul. Afghan Defense Ministry said Taliban forces stopped the Pakistani military from erecting an illegal border fence along the eastern province of Nangarhar on Sunday. A video circulated on social media showed Taliban soldier has seized spools of barbed wire, and one senior official warning Pakistani soldiers stationed in security posts in the distance not to try to fence the border again. The border incident happened the day foreign delegates from around the world gathered in Islamabad for a summit of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to discuss the unfolding humanitarian disaster in Afghanistan. Just a day after Russia raised military tensions on the Ukrainian border, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov told state-run media that Moscow do not want war but will continue to protect itself. President Putin once again said that Russia does not need conflict and he will tightly provide the security with the means they consider right, adds Lavrov. He criticized what he called war-seeking hotheads, including some political figures in the West, for feeding an aggressive mood in Ukraine. During the interview, Lavrov also said Russia will hold talks with the US and NATO in January to discuss the security guarantees it's seeking from both sides. The news comes just a day after NATO said it is ready to engage in meaningful dialogue with Moscow but will continue to support Ukraine politically and practically. The US and Japan will hold a high-level security meeting between the diplomatic and defense officials early next month. US media outlet The Hill said the so-called 2+2 dialogue is scheduled for January 7 in the US. Secretary of State Antonio Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will meet their Japanese counterpart. On the agenda could be the new 5-year agreement to increase Tokyo's financial support for hosting US troops by 5% beginning in 2022. According to The Hill, the US-Japan alliance is deemed as vital to counter China's growing influence. Israeli researcher displayed a Roman-era golden ring with an early Christian symbol for Jesus inscribed in its gemstone found in the shipwreck off the ancient port of Caesarea. The thick octagonal gold ring with its green gemstone bore the figure of the Good Shepherd in the form of a young shepherd boy in a tunic with a ram or sheep across his shoulder. The ring was found among a trove of 3rd century Roman coins, as well as a bronze eagle figurine, bells to ward off evil spirit pottery, and a Roman pantomime figurine in a comic mask, the Israel Antiquities Authority said in a statement. Caesarea was the local capital of the Roman Empire in the 3rd century, and its port was a key hub for Romans' activity. Sokolov said that while the image exists in early Christian symbolism representing Jesus as a caring shepherd tending his flock and guiding those in need, finding it on the ring was rare. A 72-million-year-old dinosaur embryo was discovered inside a fossilized egg, which scientists describe as one of the best preserved specimens of its kind ever found. The baby youngling, the embryo, was discovered in Guangzhou in the southern China and is known to be one of the toothless theropod dinosaur known as Oviraptorosaurus. Dalia Nilofer has the story.
The discovery, dubbed Baby Yingling, is believed to be between 66 and 72 million years old and was found in southern China. Professor Steve Bressett from University of Edinburgh said this dinosaur embryo inside its egg is one of the most beautiful fossils. The way Baby Yingling was found is unique among dinosaur embryos and is similar to that of modern buds. The head lies below the body with feet on either side and back curled along the blunt end of the egg. And they can see a very clean and well-preserved skull and does not have any teeth. They are very closely related to modern-day buds. The fossilized egg was discovered in late Cretaceous rock in 2000, and scientists have been examining it over the last 4 years before the embryo inside was found. Researchers said dinosaur embryos are some of the rarest fossils, and most of them are incomplete with the bones dislocated. Dalia Nilofer, SATV News Desk.
New Zealand cricket on Wednesday announced a 13-member squad for the Test series against Bangladesh, which is scheduled to start on New Year's. New Zealand skipper Kane Williamson ruled out with an elbow injury. Tom Latham will lead the side for the series. Notably, this will be the first time that the opener will lead the Black Caps for an entire series. Since New Zealand will be hosting Bangladesh for the Test series, the selector focused on building an all-seam attack squad. Pacer Team South, Trent Boult, Neil Wagner, Kylie Jemison and Matt Henry all have been included in the squad for the 2-match Test series. David Conway, who broke his hand in the ICC T20 World Cup semi-final against England in November, has returned to the squad. Isas Patel has been ruled out also. Before ending, we go through Bangla City SATV News headlines again. Bangladesh and Maldives signed 3 instruments today. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina hands over 13 military vehicles. Government will decide fully reopening of school until March next year after observing the COVID-19 pandemic situation, said Education Minister. Last-minute preparation of 4th phase of UP election are underway. Candidates are accused of violating code of conduct. Hundreds are injured in 4 districts. You're up to date with Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest in SATV News, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with us.